What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Slightly Biased NBA podcast. I am your host, Connolly, joined as always by my co-host, Brett. Brett, how's it going, buddy?
What's goody? What's goody? How we doing today?
Doing pretty well. It is Wednesday, October 23rd, 2019. The NBA season tipped off, I guess I should say, last night with two really good games, honestly.
What a night last night, man.
Yeah, that was a good opening night.
Well, yeah, the first game of the World Series was a good one.
Oh, yeah, that was a good game, too.
That was a good game, too. Some good games last night.
Yeah, some good sports.
Yeah.
Bunch of sports guys here. But we're going to go ahead and give our thoughts on the games, give our overreactions. The sky's falling for the Lakers. The season's over for them.
Oh my God. Relax.
But we're also going to give our award predictions, who we think's going to win what. And I'm really disappointed because I had a really bold prediction, but it's really not bold anymore. But I
think I got a bold one. For my most improved, I think I got. There's a lot of guys that could win that award though. Like every year, like you never know who's gonna really blow up.
Yeah, that's true, and we'll get into that later on in the show. But first, a lot of news yesterday with the rookie extension deadline. A bunch of dudes signed rookie extensions to stay with their teams. We're going to talk about them, go over some of these deals, some of these extensions. I know for a fact there's one that you don't like that I like. And I guess let's just start with that one. Buddy Hield, 4 years, $86 million guaranteed. There's $106 million with incentives. Those incentives seem unlikely. I think he has to make an all-star game, which he's not making in the West.
Right.
And they have to win the finals, which isn't happening either.
Yeah, and he was eligible for the max, the 130. So, he averaged 21, 5, and 2.5 last year. So it's not like this guy can't play. But let's just remember that this guy called a 4-year, $90 million deal an insult.
That's true.
I think this could end up being pretty disastrous for this team. They probably didn't have a lot of options because, you can't really get any big free agents. And Buddy Hield's basically saying, you got to pay me or what? Maybe he won't even play. It's kind of seeming like he was just like threatening to, demand a trade or something like that. I think the Kings are just in a tough spot with not being able to get big names, and it's just looking like Buddy Hield's going to be a cornerstone of this franchise for the next few years.
I really like the deal. You're hard on Buddy Hield. I really like this deal for the Kings, especially when we're going to talk about the Jaylen Brown deal. I think this is a really good deal for the Kings. You're getting one of the best shooters in the NBA, a guy who could join the 50-40-90 club realistically. Shot 43% on 8 3-point attempts last year. That's super good. This dude is a knockdown shooter. He can create his own shot too. It's not like that's all he can do. He can play, making create for others. I like this move for them because they're the Kings, man. They're not going to bring in anybody else.
Right.
So he was a restricted free agent. Someone was going to pay him money, especially if he went out and had a year similar to last year where he put up, 20 points? Yeah,
21 and 5.
6'4", guard. He's only 26. I really like this deal for him.
On defense, too. He defends decently well.
Yeah, so I like this deal for the Kings. I like it for Buddy Hield, too. What would he have gotten in the open market? I'm not sure. Would the Kings have matched anything? Again, I'm not sure. But all in all, when you take into account all the things that Buddy Hield brings and really how the cap is going to rise as the years go on, I don't hate this contract at all for the Kings.
Also, I think that's the big thing. It's just the Kings, and they probably didn't have much choice.
Right. That's why they gave Harrison Barnes the money he got.
Right.
And that's why they overpaid for Ariza. They overpaid for Dedmon. Because that's what they're going to have to do to get people to go to Sacramento or to stay in Sacramento.
Yep.
So, with that in mind, I like this deal. The Jaylen Brown deal, I do not like.
Yeah, and it's kind of like investing in what could be because he really hasn't shown to be that premier of a player yet. And he showed flashes. Don't get me wrong, but I've already told you I'm not huge on him. And, 4-year, 103, 12 in bonuses. It'll be interesting. He's going to be a centerpiece of this team, and now he's got to prove, he's got to earn this money. So it'll be interesting to see. He's
going to make those bonuses because one of the incentive is he plays a certain number of games and they make the second round of the playoffs.
Okay.
So that's an incentive he's going to hit more than likely.
Not necessarily guaranteed, but
not a guarantee, but
likely.
In the East with their team,
it's likely.
You think it's likely?
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense to me because it's not like he was an unrestricted free agent and you wanted to get this deal done so that he doesn't leave. He was a restricted free agent.
Yeah.
So worst comes to worst, he hits the open market. Someone gives him a max or close to what you gave him, and he accepts it, and you accept the offer sheet. You accept the offer sheet.
Yeah.
That's like the worst case scenario. I don't know why they didn't do that. Just wait a year, see how he plays this year.
Well, we've seen Boston make questionable decisions over the year, even with all their picks and everything they've had stocked up. I mean, they give Gordon Hayward a crazy deal, and
for all the love Danny Ainge gets.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of my point.
A lot of his moves that we thought were going man, when they stockpiled all those picks, we thought that this team was gonna be world beaters for years, and now Jaylen Brown, who knows about him? They just gave him a huge contract.
It's
Jason
a lot
Tatum,
of question marks. It's a lot of question marks.
I know.
I mean, we've seen Kemba. Like, we think Kemba's a good player, but can he elevate you? I don't know. We just saw this FIBA USA team shit the bed. So,
that's true. And Kemba was the best player.
Right, and there's a lot of question marks on this team for sure. And Jaylen Brown's now one of them, and he's one of the highest paid on the team.
Paying nearly $30 million a year for potential is crazy to me.
Yeah, no, 100%.
You're really banking on him. I mean, he has the tools. He's 6'6".
Yeah.
He's a good defender already.
But like we say, it's potential still. It's not anything that's been proven yet.
Yeah, I'm not.
For that amount of money.
I'm really not high on those two. I know those two have been dragged over the coals the past couple of years, and no one's really high on them anymore.
Who's that, Tatum?
Yeah, Tatum and Brown.
I think I'm still big on Tatum. I think he should, he's a big candidate for most improved player. I looked at a lot of the odds for the awards and stuff. He's kind of lower on the list as far as money you could make. But yeah, man, I'm a lot bigger on Tatum than Brown. That's for sure.
Well, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And then Jaylen Brown. I mean, you think if everything's
has Tatum gotten paid? Have they paid him?
No, but he was drafted a year after Brown.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
They got a year or two even. But
well, maybe they're saying Brown will be a long term, and maybe Tatum won't be. If maybe Hayward takes a step this year and gets back to his former self, and if Tatum doesn't go back to,
well, I think they have 2 years left of Hayward. So maybe they're just saying we'll pay Tatum after Hayward's gone.
Okay, that's fair.
Because that was a disastrous contract.
Yeah,
a disaster. It's really unfortunate because of injuries and stuff, but even then, I never really liked Gordon Hayward like that.
No, I didn't either.
But whatever. So I'm not the hound of Jaylen Brown one. Pascal Siakam, 4 years, max deal, $130 million.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I think you gotta like it. I mean, this guy's looking. I mean, we're fresh off a game last night where he's looking like a clear all-star in the East, and I think I might have underrated this team coming back with a lot of the same guys, and Van Vliet taking another step. He looks like a monster. I mean, you got Siakam as a leader of this team, and this team looks a little tougher than I thought. They might have been. So
you think so?
I think so. I mean, I had him at 6.
That game later.
I had him at 6. Remember, and
I think that's where I had them too.
If they're better than the Nets or the Heat, will that completely shock me? It really wouldn't.
No, I could see that.
You know what I'm saying? Like if they're at 4, really, even if they're better than Boston, it really wouldn't shock me, to be honest with you. And I know they played New Orleans last night, and we'll get to that game, but like I said, I mean, you got to be happy with this deal. This guy is going to be a franchise player, and you got to love it.
Yeah, I love the deal too for them because they're kind of in the same boat that Sacramento is really. Yeah. And that they don't get free agents ever.
Right.
And who was it that talked about it? Was it Lou Will who talked about how players don't want to go through the hassle of going to a different country and stuff?
Yeah, he was one of them. A lot of players have talked about that.
Yeah, which kind of sucks because it's a good franchise and Toronto's a really dope city, but
really good fan base too.
Yeah, but I understand how that could be.
But good for him, man. This is a guy that was undrafted. He was in the G League and now, max player. He's
improved leaps and bounds every year he's been in the league. I'm interested to see how he's going to continue his development because he's going to be the guy. Make no mistake about it. Like he is the number one option there. Had a 35% usage rate last night, which is incredibly high. So he is.
Yeah, he's a monster, man.
Yeah,
you got to feel good for him. It's a good story, and he's going to be a perennial player in the East for a while.
Truth be told, I think he's better off as a number 2. So maybe if Toronto lucks into a free agent or trades for another superstar like they did for Kawhi.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how much I like Pascal being the guy on the team. But
I think after last night, man, I think they got to feel okay about it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put too much stock into one game
Kind
or
of
anything.
for the new NBA too, man. He's kind of like a stretch four that can ball handle and pass. And he
Yeah,
had 5 assists last night.
yeah. I mean, make no mistake, I like Pascal, but
Yeah. I mean, if you can get shooters around him, which is I think is the best thing, and they got shooters around him. But I mean, they're just not a very deep team, so they'll
yeah, we're
probably
gonna talk about that game in a
once
second.
Lowry's gone, they'll probably have to figure some things out as far as depth
Yeah,
because they gave Lowry a lot of money and a lot of money for a guy that's towards the end of his career.
right.
Yeah,
And then the final extension I want to talk on Domantas Sabonis, 4 years, 75 million. I really like this deal.
that's a great deal. I
Yeah,
mean, this guy is a solid player, and Indiana is kind of another team. They're not really going to get anybody either.
yeah, and they also have money tied up to a bunch of different people, so it's like
Yeah,
I don't even know
and
how much.
it wasn't like they gave him a max.
No, 4 years,
Yeah,
75 million. That's a
yeah,
great deal. The highest
right.
he's going to make in any given season is 21 million, and that's in the last year of his deal when the
Yeah,
cap's going to be higher than what it is
yes,
now.
I think you got to be happy with that deal as well.
Yeah, good score. I mean, a potential 20-point per game scorer, a good rebounder. He's a
Yep.
good playmaker for his size.
I mean, about what you want as far as power forward / center. I mean,
Yeah,
more of a power forward, I'd say, and he's really about what you want. And he's a lefty, and
yeah,
he's got really good, ball security, and he's smooth with it. He's not, all over the place as far as ball control and stuff like that.
right.
So,
So we both like that deal. I mean,
yep,
that's a home run for the Pacers, I think.
yep,
All right. So out of those, I mean, I really dislike the Jaylen Brown deal for a lot of reasons.
yeah,
I don't like paying for potential, one, and two, I don't understand why this had to be done now.
right.
Because I
Yeah, I
mean,
mean, he better go off this year.
right.
Like
I mean,
he's on that list of most improved too. It's like him and Tatum are right around the same spot as
yeah.
far as odds and stuff like that. So it'll be really interesting to see how that shakes out.
See, because I can understand giving like the Buddy Hield contract, wanting that to be done before the season starts. Because 4 years, 86 million. If he
Well,
balled out this year and someone gave him the max, then you're
right.
paying way more than that.
Well, yeah, and he's like crying about it.
Right. That's true too. But
So
Jaylen Brown, like you're damn near paying him the max.
yeah, the more you talk
Almost.
about it, the more sense the Hield makes, and definitely the more question marks there is around the Brown deal.
Yeah, because I mean, the Sabonis, you're trying to get these dudes contracts done before they go out, ball out,
Yeah,
have a big time year, and then get paid big time by
you got a
somebody.
bunch of teams hitting them up and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But Jaylen Brown, if he sucks this year, or is just the same that he was last year, where it was like 13 points a game.
yeah, you might be paying a lot of money for a role player.
Yeah, I mean, you are. Like, he's the
Yeah,
third or fourth option on that team,
right.
depending on what Gordon Hayward is like. But
Yep,
still, I don't like that deal at all
yep,
for the Celtics. So let's move on to last night's game to give our overreactions
yep.
and our hot takes.
How about those Raptors rings?
Those are dope.
Those were sick, man.
The Raptors are just a cool franchise right
Yeah,
now.
they are. Yeah, they are. Like I said, the team is a little better than I thought, man. Fred VanVleet, Kyle Lowry, really small backcourt, but these guys play hard. They play tough, and it's not like Fred VanVleet made all of his points on threes. This guy hit 5 threes. He had 34 points.
Yeah.
So he's driving to the lane. He's making crazy layups. He's getting to the line. He's physical on defense as well. I thought, Marcus Hall played okay. It was against the Pelicans, but I think they looked really good. They were kind of commanding the game for a lot of the game. Fast young team. The rotation seems a little suspect to me.
No, that's
Like,
what scares me. For
they're still figuring some things out. Lonzo was sat with 6 to go in the third, 6.5 to go, and was sat the rest of regulation. I didn't think he looked great though. Anyway, to be honest, Lonzo.
I liked what I saw from Lonzo, honestly.
I liked it, but I thought I kind of wanted to see more.
I liked his
I
aggressiveness. He
Yeah,
played good defense. He was shooting.
yeah. I think maybe it's his demeanor that kind of turns me off. I guess I kind of like basketball players that are more into it. That's why Kawhi kind of turned me off for a while, and now
Yeah.
he's starting to break out of his shell. So I'm liking that. But I told you about this Nicola Melli guy,
Yeah.
and you got a little glimpse of him last night. He can shoot.
He can shoot the lights out.
Yeah, you gotta love JJ Redick off the bench on this team. I think he was off the bench, right? He didn't start, did he? I think he was.
JJ?
Yeah.
No, he started, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, he started. Okay. But yeah, man, he's solid piece. What I don't like about this team is how Ingram is kind of looking like the number one option on offense, and he was solid. I mean, he's really good in the mid range, not so great from three. But it's kind of one of those things, I guess, with demeanor again, man. I like my number one players on teams to be more leaders, more vocal, more involved with their teammates.
Yeah.
And you just don't really see that from him. I also thought Drew Holiday had a very weird game. He
No,
played
he was horrible.
41 minutes and had 13 points.
Yeah, he was awful.
And I almost thought before I looked at the stats that he played like 25 minutes. I mean, I didn't even notice him out there half the time. So that was a weird.
There was an overtime, so that boosts minutes.
So the Pelicans have a lot to, kind of build off of. You saw some good things from young guys. You saw some not so good things. Jackson Hayes didn't even play.
Yeah, I
I
was
thought
shocked.
that was really strange. I mean, I drafted him on my team. I'm looking for him all night, and I just didn't see him. So that was weird. And then that one kid, Alexander, was just shooting the ball like crazy and couldn't hit a thing. I think he could end up being okay though. He looks
No,
like
no. In
looks
a
like a
weird
good
way, I
player.
liked what I saw from him.
Yeah, right.
I mean, 1 of 10 shooting in 11
So
minutes is insane.
I thought the Pelicans looked better. I mean, they looked good, and I think the Raptors looked a lot better than I thought they would.
I have like both of these teams. I question their rotations, and
Yeah.
they're going to get figured out as teams. I really don't like that the Raptors have an 8-man rotation.
No, the Raptors are not a deep team by any means. All their starters played a lot of minutes.
Yeah, they played an 8-man rotation, and I just think that's the way it's going to be for them all season long because they're not deep in the slightest.
Right.
Because you think about it, the old bench mob they used to have, OG was coming off the bench, Siakam was coming off that bench, Van Fleet was coming off that bench. Now 3 of those dudes are in the starting lineup.
Yep.
We got Norman. I like Norman Powell off the bench, but just and Surge too.
Yep.
But I mean, Terrence Davis. I'm gonna be honest. I did not know who that dude was.
He actually looks good though. I think he's a good player.
He had his moments. He had a
big
big shot.
He had that one nice pass through the lane when he was driving. That I don't know if you remember that play, but he looks okay. But yeah, they're not a deep team by any means.
And then the Pelicans had a 12-man rotation, and that's without Jackson Hayes playing.
Right. They're looking like they're trying to figure it out for sure.
And I'm questioning. Jackson Hayes didn't play. Zion's coming back. What the hell are you going to do with all your forwards and your bigs? Like, Melly's got to play.
Yeah.
That dude can shoot the lights out.
I think you got to take away from Ingram a little bit, man.
Take away from Ingram or Jaleel?
Yeah. Jaleel actually looked pretty good.
No, but Jaleel's a good player, man.
I think you got to take away a little bit from him, too.
I don't know what they're going to do.
Maybe it was just the first game, and he was trying to get Jaleel some confidence and not say, hey, Jaleel, I'm not really going to mess with you this year. Yeah. Maybe say, Jaleel, I want you to, be confident in your game. Because let's remember, guys, let's not overreact on the first game. Like,
that's true. That's true.
At the beginning of the show, Lakers season's over. let's relax a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it is one game. So, early in the season,
teams are going to be so many young guys.
And early in the season, teams are going to be trying to figure out their rotations.
But like when they put Frank Jackson out there, man, he's a solid ball player.
No, Frank Jackson did not play bad, and I'm shocked because I thought he was a terrible player like last season. But he's a young player. I think it's his second year. So I mean, this is around the time when people take big steps forwards. But just looking at their team, I don't know how much minutes each one more can realistically expect as the season goes on.
Right. He was barely out there.
Kenrick Williams, 18 minutes. I don't see that being a common thing.
No.
I mean, God, I felt like Nickeil Alexander-Walker was on the court for the entire game just by how much he was shooting. He was only on the court for 11 minutes.
How many? He had like 13 shots?
10 shots.
10 shots?
Yeah, but I do honestly like Nickeil Walker. I think he's going to be a good player.
Yeah, I think so too.
And you got to almost like when rookies just letting it fly, especially in the first game.
Yeah,
he was taking good shots. Like they just weren't.
I think so.
He just wasn't hitting them.
Yeah, and you'd like to see a lot more of Lonzo. That was really strange. Like, why are you Luke Waltoning him?
Yeah, I don't get that either. Like, are you already actively trying to tank or something? I don't understand.
Yeah.
But I'm just these forwards, man, because I want to see Derek Favors on the floor more. I really like his game. He's only on the court for 20 minutes. So what the hell is going to happen when Zion's back?
Right.
Who's getting booted from this rotation?
Yeah.
It better not be Melly. How do you feel about Chris Webber's nickname, Melly Mel?
I thought that was pretty funny.
I thought that was funny, but I saw a lot of people say YNW Melly, and I thought that was fucking hilarious. But man, I'm interested in that kid. Or I guess not kid, he's 28.
Yeah. No, yeah, he's just a rookie from international ball. And
man, that pick and pop game with him, that was nasty.
He's a good player, man. No doubt about it. Now, I was telling you, I saw him in preseason. I was impressed.
Yeah. I mean, damn, he can shoot. I love bigs that can shoot. It just looks nice.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Lakers Clippers match, the key marquee matchup.
Yep. Man, I'm starting to love Kawhi, man. Yeah. I mean, I was not a big fan of him early on, like especially not on the Spurs. Me and you aren't. If you're a Texas team and you're not Dallas, we're probably not going to like you very much.
That's true.
But I think the more he's kind of broken out of his shell and the more he's become one of these premier players in the league, and I even told you last episode that I think he's the best player in the league right now. I'm starting to really become a fan. And these commercials are fantastic. The Terminator commercial is hilarious.
I didn't like the New Balance one.
I don't even think I saw that one.
It just
I
felt
saw
so
a glimpse of it
basic.
this morning. Yeah, I didn't see that one, but I thought the Terminator one was really funny. But man, he's just insane last night. And what's beautiful about this team is they have such a great roster around him that they don't have to force him out there to win games.
Yeah.
And there's not that much pressure on him to score. He's impossible to guard already, but you have such good players around him that he's just dunking, and he's got clear lanes, and he's so good from the mid range. And Lakers got off to a hot start, and he just says no sir and scores 7 straight baskets, man. Lou Will is incredible. Harrell is a perfect big man for this team. Harkless is a fantastic fit. I'm a big fan of Harkless. I would have loved him on Dallas. I thought we should have tried to get him. I thought JaMychal Green shot a little bit too much, but he looks like a good fit. He looks like he's been working on his 3-point, so he's going to hit some shots.
I mean, he was making them.
Yeah, I mean, he made a few. Shamit's a great fit, dude. This guy's a hooper. And then you got Patterson and Zubac, too, for big man off the bench, man. I mean, this roster is so complete. And they didn't even have Paul George. So, yeah. I mean, and then we didn't even mention Pat Bev yet. Pat Bev is unbelievable for what he does with this team. And you have it all under a great head coach in Doc
Led
Rivers.
the team in rebounds.
I'm saying, man. And he gets under other team's skins. He's doing the jump ball with A. Davis, and he's, jumping early and, just pissing people off. I love it, man. You got to have that kind of attitude on your team. I'll let you kind of touch on the Clippers, and then we'll jump into the Lakers.
I mean, I like what I saw from the Clips for sure. They're
How
still.
can you not?
I still, because there were times where Anthony Davis was just cooking them and doing whatever he wanted down low. That's still a concern for me. But man, dude, this perimeter defense is just going to be insane all season long. Even without Paul George, they were still incredibly good. Then you're going to add one of the best perimeter defenders in the entire league whenever he comes back.
And he can probably help out down low a little bit. Just off rotations, and if they do more of a zone, you could kind of have him help down low, and then have Pat Bev and Kawhi up top or something.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. But I mean, Kawhi played a great game. This is just kind of what Kawhi does at this point. It was just a Kawhi game, really. I didn't think he played like outstanding or anything, and then I just looked at his numbers and stuff, and I mean, this is just what Kawhi does now. 30 points.
I think my big takeaway though.
Points.
My big takeaway is that he can just not have to, like with Toronto, he had to go win games, and on this Clippers team, he didn't even lead the team in minutes. Lou Will and Harrell had more minutes than him.
Yeah.
And we know Lou Will could be a starter, and to just have this guy come off the bench is just an unreal luxury.
Yeah, but I don't even really count him as a bench player, dude. They bring him in the game literally 2 minutes into the game. Him and Montrez.
I know, but it's just like the fact that he does.
I mean, Zubac started for them and he played 9 minutes.
Yeah.
So I know that they're technically they are bench players, but I mean I don't even know if I really count them as bench players.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Well, but Lou Will he gets 6-man every year, so it
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, technically they are coming off the bench, so they're bench players.
Right.
But they're for all effective purposes.
You get starter minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. They're in closing time. They're in during the big moments of the game.
Yeah.
They're out there with the starters. Damn, Lou Will's a really good player.
Yep. Man, he was making some passes too that were nuts.
Yeah, that was my big concern for them. But Lou Will looked like
Lou Will had 6
more
assists.
More than capable of doing of carrying the offense and being a playmaker for the offense.
Right.
Lakers, you want to talk about them?
Yeah, go ahead and start us off the Lakers.
I mean, I don't know. I was joking when I said the sky's falling for them. The season's over. Obviously, I think they're going to be just fine. Yeah. They really miss Rondo more than I thought they would. Rondo and Caruso.
Yep. And Kuzma, man.
I don't even know. I'm talking more. I hate LeBron at the point guard.
Okay.
He plays too slow.
Yeah. He looked really undecisive at the top of the key.
Because he would sit there for 10, 15 seconds, wait for Anthony Davis to get in position, and just dump it off to him. That was the entire offense for the longest time. And I mean, it was working at first because Anthony Davis was hitting everything.
Right.
And drawing
fouls. He's so unguardable down low.
Yeah, I know. So I kind of get that. I kind of get that strategy, but God, it was so slow.
that was kind of one of my points about this game was I was trying to figure out what the game plan was for the Lakers because on defense, the team defense was horrible. I know LeBron had some great defensive moments, which is good to see because last year obviously he got killed for not playing defense at all. So that was good to see, but overall the team defense, people looked confused. They weren't closing out on shots. And
Their
then on
bench is
offense,
horrible.
why am I not seeing any pick and roll? Why does AD have to go to the block? Can we not do a high pick and roll with LeBron and AD? And
Yeah,
then
that was weird too. They're
why am I
posting up
not?
every possession.
And my buddy, who's a big Lakers guy, says, "Well, we don't want to show everything." I'm like, dude, it's basketball. It's like
Right.
running. It's like running the ball in football. It's like, hey, we're gonna run the ball here, first down, try and stop it. You know.
Yeah, that's
And it's
not that
like,
doesn't
hey,
make
I
much
have
sense.
LeBron with the ball at point guard, and I'm gonna bring AD and pick and roll it, try to stop it.
Yeah.
I mean, it shouldn't have to be hiding that. That should be, hey, please try and stop it. You know.
Yeah, I just
And
man, the
LeBron
offense
five
looks so
threes. Like
stagnant.
I don't want to see him shooting threes. I don't want to see A Davis shooting threes.
Well, look, I know Patrick Beverley's a good defender, but when he's on LeBron, I want to see LeBron go at him.
Yeah.
He's got a huge height advantage. He's got a strength advantage. He's got an advantage almost across the board.
Right.
I hated seeing Patrick Beverley just at the top of the key on LeBron and LeBron just sitting there
Yeah.
and then passing it with 5 seconds left on the shot clock.
Yeah.
Just ugly, ugly. But hey, look, LeBron teams always start incredibly slow. Always. I mean, the Heat will start at 10-10 the first year.
Right.
So maybe.
Yeah, I think a couple things that were going against him. No Rondo, like you said. I think he'll be a great point guard for this team. He's played with A Davis before. Kuzma is scaring me at this point because his left foot situation. I don't know if it's left foot, but his foot situation seems really sketchy. And now
I really don't think Kuzma's going to be as important as other people do.
Oh, I think he's going to be huge.
I think I think Kuzma will be the fourth best player on this team.
Oh, Green is no doubt huge. He played fantastic last night. So I could agree with you about that. But Kuzma brings so much size and length and another perimeter shooter. And think about this. Replace Avery Bradley with Kuzma.
Yeah,
I mean, that is huge. Avery Bradley made a few shots last night, but overall he was not very good. And I mean, if you replace and KCP wasn't good, I think that's a little bit tough of a matchup for KCP.
No, he was awful.
Well, you got Harkless out there, Kawhi. I mean, this is a tough matchup for KCP. Usually, if he's got a smaller guy on him, he can kind of score. You know what I mean? A little bit more. But I just think Kuzma will be huge. Hopefully, will be huge.
He's a 30% shooter.
Yeah, I still think he's
I think expectations for him are too high, man. Like he's not gonna be Kevin Love or Chris Bosh. People need to understand that.
That's fair. I mean, I think this is a better situation this year for him than the situations he's had in the past, though. He's had a lot of like last second threes that he's had to put up and stuff like that. And I look for him to, help out this team on defense as well because Avery Bradley, they just look small with Avery Bradley out there. I think they'll be a lot bigger and longer out there with Kuzma instead of him.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Rondo can help a lot on the offense, and there wasn't a lot of transition because the defense wasn't great, and Rondo can help with that as well.
Yeah, man, the bench looked horrible.
Yeah, and LeBron just had some bad turnovers.
Yeah, he kept like the bench or LeBron would leave the court and the team would made their run there at the end of the third.
Yeah,
they made the run there at the end of the third. LeBron off the court. LeBron comes back on. And he some dumbass turnovers, some brick shots. Like that was one of the worst games I've seen LeBron play in a long time.
And some of his really good defense I was talking about was from him getting back on his bad turnovers.
Yeah. LeBron's always done that on defense.
Yeah.
I've noticed that. Anytime he turns the ball over, he's gonna run back and try to get a chase down or something.
Right.
It's other defensive sets where LeBron struggles or doesn't even try.
But you mentioned the bench, and the bench scoring was 60-19.
No, they were terrible, man.
I mean, that's
my thing. Quinn Cook, you're on the team to shoot threes and you break almost all of them. No, you do break all of them. You go 0 for 3.
Yeah.
I don't like him at all. Jared Dudley actually made his shots, but he was minus 20 when he was on the court.
Bro, I'm literally in awe that he's still in the league. And I'm sitting next to my buddy watching the game, and I'm like, I can't believe Jared Dudley's still in the league. And he hits like 2 threes in like 2 minutes.
And he's playing.
Unbelievable.
Lakers.
Unbelievable.
I mean, he's going to get booted from the rotation when guys come back. He's going to have to, you would think at least.
Yeah, I think that's the big takeaway, though, is kind of the differences in bench. And why I think the Clippers are going to be so good is because of how deep they are.
Damn, man. 19 points off the bench. That's horrendous.
How about 60 off the bench, though?
Yeah. But
I
again,
mean, but that counts Lou Will though. So
that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
Lou Will and Montrez, yes, they're bench players, but
No, Harrell started, didn't he? Or they
no,
started
Zubac
Zubac.
started
Okay.
and played 9 minutes.
Okay. Well, I missed
So,
the beginning of the game because the
yeah,
Pelicans game ran over.
I had to find another
Yeah.
stream online because I
Um.
didn't want to watch that
So
stomp.
yeah, Harrell and Lou Will counting in that throws it off a little bit.
Yeah, but I
I
mean, even
I
then,
would. Why
Mo
is Zubac
Harkless and
starting?
JaMychal Green had 22 points.
Why wouldn't Harrell just start over Zubac? Why do that?
I don't know. That's what
I
they do.
guess just to prove how deep your team can be. I don't know.
I don't get the lot. I really don't
But
get the logic in bringing guys in 2 minutes into the game. I think just start them.
just start them right.
Yeah.
But big takeaways, man. I think this is a rivalry, regardless of what LeBron says.
I don't
And
think it is.
I mean, dude, Battle of the LA and Kawhi's
I'm gonna give my
saying,
reasoning why.
hey, he's saying, LeBron, you ain't the best player in the league no more, bro. And he's got the commercials and shit. Like, I love that.
They'll be a rival in the sense both of them are good teams, and they play each other 4 times a year because they're in the
And
same
they have
division.
the same home court building.
Right, but listen, dude, you saw the game. That stadium was like 70% Lakers fans. In LA, it's like 99% LA Laker fans.
Yeah, well, maybe you have some closet Clipper fans start coming out of the closet here pretty
No,
soon.
you will. You'll have some bandwagon fans, but the Lakers
You
are
know
the
what I'm saying?
Lakers, and
Yeah,
the Clippers will be the little bros
right.
for regardless of what they do, honestly.
Yeah, I feel that.
So, but there will be a rivalry, but I don't think it's as intense as people may think that it will be.
Well, but it could be like if you get a playoff series.
Yeah, playoff series would be
I
crazy.
mean, this is the first game of a matchup we could have for 2 or 3 years.
If these met in the conference finals,
That's what I'm saying.
that would be fun.
That's what I'm saying.
But I think I'm honestly, when you take into account everything we've said about this game, the Lakers were in it.
Yeah.
I mean, the Lakers were in it.
Yep.
So
And
mainly because Danny Green.
I think Dwight Howard played decently well. I think he needs some longer shorts.
I think that he needs to not foul every single time he does something.
I think a couple of those calls though, like there's
that one block was bad.
Yeah, I mean,
that
dude,
was not
it's like
foul.
I think he just gets that Shaq syndrome where he's just so big and it just kind of moves the guy and he just gets called.
Yeah, no, that's 100% right.
But I think JaVale played okay too. I think
JaVale's a good player.
Yeah, I think both their bigs played decent for.
I'm shocked that Dwight played more than JaVale.
Yeah, I think I am too.
I think I'd like to see that reversed.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because I like JaVale's athleticism more in the starting five. But I mean,
both teams were missing some guys, so
yeah,
we'll see how both these teams play out. But I think the Clippers are, whew, they're gonna be a problem, man.
Yeah, they look good.
You just cannot compete with that depth.
No, you can't. That's probably the deepest team in the league right now.
Oh, no doubt.
All right, let's get into these award predictions.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and start us off, man, because I was torn on a couple of these.
Let's start small and build our way up.
Okay.
Let's start with the MIP, most improved player.
Okay, I like that.
I hate predicting these.
It's fun though. I think the most improved one was kind of my most fun one to dive into, actually.
Yeah, I went with Bam Adebayo.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good one.
Because Hassan's gone, he's going to be the starter, and he was really good as a start when Hassan was missing games for whatever reason last year. Bam stepped up and was really good in the starting role.
Yeah,
and he's going to be the defensive anchor on a team that's going to be a good defense and a team that's going to be good.
Yep,
that's important.
Yes,
that's important in these awards.
Yeah,
being on good teams, and he's an athletic rim runner with Jimmy Butler, who's going to be directing the offense.
And he has already been steady improving, so it's not like this is.
Bam is already a good player.
This is just going to be his best opportunity to finally showcase what he can do.
The thing is, his numbers are going to improve, and that's what you need, really.
Right.
All the things are there for him, and I got Bam, but there's always some player. I'm interested in who you have, actually, before I say that.
I got there, man. There's a lot of intriguing names on this list. DeJounte Murray was out there. Gilgeous was out there. Obviously, he's going to be on a bad team. He could, score 20 a game maybe for them.
Yeah.
You got the Jaylen Brown and Tatum Boston guys who 2 years ago, were on the climb and then fell off last year. So could they go back to that peak? You know what I mean? I would think Tatum has a little bit better shot to win that just because he's a little bit more skilled overall and puts up better numbers. I wanted to pick Zach LaVine. I think he played 30, 40 games last year.
Yeah, that could be a good pick.
If he could play 75, 80 games, I mean, he's a monster of a player, man.
I like that Bulls team.
And he's still so young, dude, and he's so skilled. His health does scare me though. And I do have Bam on this list, and I almost went with him too. I'm gonna go with Zach Collins.
Okay, I like that one.
He'll be starting on a good Portland team with no Nurkic. He's been quietly developing. He got drafted at 2017 out of Gonzaga. I think he's been kind of in a Bam type situation. He's been improving year to year, but just very quietly, not getting a lot of minutes. Man, he can shoot. He can score down low. He can defend pretty well, and he's still really young. There might be some better talent that I mentioned, but I think he has a great opportunity to win this award.
I like that pick.
Yeah. And I also drafted him in fantasy basketball, so.
Well, there you go.
Hey, slightly biased, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. I like that pick. I think Zach Collins is going to have a really nice year.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to have to. He's going to play a big role on that Portland team.
And especially I have them, finishing fourth? I mean.
Yeah, you had the finishing guy.
He'd have to be a big role on that team.
All right, you want to get Coach of the Year next?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. I'm going with Mike Malone from the Nuggets.
I like that.
I think he should have won last year, probably.
Mm-hmm.
And I have the Nuggets finishing second in the West. I think they could very easily finish first.
Same.
And the roster, when you look at it, it's a really deep roster. It's a really talented roster. It's a young roster. But when you stack it up to the other teams in the West, it doesn't really have that stuff. Jokic is a superstar for sure, but it doesn't really pack the same punch.
But it's got that Clippers kind of feel to it, where they're physical and they got the depth, and when you got that, people don't realize some of the reason the Warriors were so damn good is with all the bench they had.
No, yeah, the Warriors had that death lineup, and
people don't realize
they kill you in the third quarter.
Yeah.
But what do the Clippers and the Nuggets both have in common? They have really good coaches.
Yep.
So I almost went with Doc Rivers, honestly.
Yep. That's who I'm going with.
You're going with Doc?
Yeah, and I think Malone is a great candidate, and I was reading up on this a little bit on this award, and usually it's kind of a team that is usually the top seed and usually, has a big improvement from the year before type of thing.
Yeah.
I think Quinn Snyder is a good candidate.
Yeah, I like that one.
I think Rick Carlisle is a good candidate.
I was just about to say Rick Carlisle is definitely a sleeper.
I think if the Mavs were to finish like top 5 or something crazy in the West, he is a very great candidate for this award. But I'm going to go with Doc Rivers. They were an 8 seed, man, and this Clippers team, even though they haven't been a top team in the West, they've been tough the last few years. We saw them finish 8 last year without star players, and now that they have a couple stars, I think I have them finishing top of the West, and I think it's just kind of a clear-cut choice if the Clippers were to finish number 1 in the West.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
So I got Doc.
Man, Rick Carlisle would be an interesting one.
And Doc hasn't gotten a lot of love in a long time.
No, and I think the narrative is really starting to flip on him because a lot of people have questioned him as a coach for a long time.
Right.
But the narrative's starting to flip on him after last year.
That has won it all. And if he were to get that top seed in a really hard West, I think it'd be a pretty clear-cut choice.
I mean, that team making the playoffs last year was kind of crazy.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it.
I think Pop honestly could win.
I think that's
depending on where this
Pop is always a candidate every year, no doubt about it.
Spoelstra is interesting to me.
Yeah,
because they're gonna make a jump.
The Bucks coach too, I think.
Yeah, Budenholzer.
Yeah, but he won it last year, so I mean sometimes if there's another team that makes a big jump.
Yeah, so I got Mike Malone. Doc was my number 2. So.
It's a lot of expectations type of thing, and then like comparisons from how you did last year.
Right, and also, I mean, if Paul George misses 10, 20 games, like it sounds like, to start the season, and they start off really hot.
I think it's 10 games.
I know they keep saying 10, but I've seen 10 to 20, so that's just what I keep saying because you never know with these.
Right.
Because I mean, if they're 8
and like we said, we might not need to rush it. Yeah.
Yeah. If they're 8-2, there's really no reason to hurry them back in there. But I mean, if Kawhi rests a bunch and Paul George rests a bunch, and they're still winning a ton of games.
Yeah. That's got to credit the coach a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. Yep. Okay, 6th man of the year.
How do you not go with Lou Will?
Yeah, no, I have Lou Will too.
I mean, especially coming off of last night, he's just too good. And he comes off the bench, and he's a starting player in this league, and he comes off the bench. And he won it twice in a row now? 3 times?
I think
right?
2 times in a row.
2 times in a row? So I'm looking for him to get that 3-peat.
Yeah, I agree. I think it might be 2 times in a row, 3 in the past 4 years or something.
Like I'm Lou Will.
Yeah, I mean, that was in 2014, I think, when he won that one.
Yep.
For the Raptors.
Yep.
I mean, Impossible to not go Lou Will.
Yeah.
He's going to get starter minutes on a team that's going to finish top 5, top 3 in the West.
Other close candidates, I'd say, is probably Eric Gordon and Spencer Dinwiddie. But
Spencer Dinwiddie
yeah,
is a
but
good one.
I think I just got to go with Lou Will.
Eric Gordon's still coming off the bench.
I think so. I mean,
Yeah.
I see him as a couple people's picks for 6 man of the year here on the page I'm looking at.
I mean, Kuzma's interesting depending on what they do with their rotations.
He should start.
I agree, but it might be like a Montrez situation where he's in 2 minutes into the game or something.
Yeah, that's fair.
But Terrence Ross too.
Yeah,
he got some votes last year
Yeah.
on the Magic.
yeah,
He's a good player.
yeah. He is.
But I think Lou Will's a no-brainer here.
Yep.
Jalen Brunson?
That'd be pretty dope, but
That would be crazy.
I don't see it.
I mean,
Mavs have our rotations are so volatile.
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson might play 30 minutes one game and 15 the next.
Yeah. But hey, it wouldn't surprise me if just like last year, both of these Clippers dudes, Montrez and Lou Will, finish in like the top 3, top 5 in voting.
Yep.
Because Montrez is going to put up points too.
Yeah, I feel like he should start. I don't get that.
I mean, I'm not a big basketball X and O guy, but I still just don't understand the logic of bringing a guy 2 minutes into a game. I don't. Maybe it's so when the starters get subbed out, you still have this guy for the next however many minutes because he's a little more rested. That's the only thing I can think of.
I think what if it's like a mental thing? I think it's more of a mental thing. Like not only with Lou Will, but like as an aspect of, hey, I'm coming out with this team and we're winning right now. Like let's say they get off to a good start. But don't forget, here in the first time out, we're gonna bring out our best scorer.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it might be just more of a mental thing.
Yeah, it might be. And it's probably a mental thing for Lou Will because he's talked about it a trillion times how he likes coming off the bench more.
Right.
But yeah. All right, Rookie of the Year. Can I go first on this actually?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm a little saddened by this because I've had this hot take.
There should be a clear-cut choice.
Well, no, listen to this. I've had this hot take for months now.
Okay.
I'm picking Ja Morant as Rookie of the Year, but I wanted to pick Ja Morant for months, even before the Zion injury.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
But now
proof of this? No, I'm just kidding.
No, I don't have any proof. Well, actually, go back and listen to. I don't remember which podcast it was, but I said I had a bold prediction for my awards.
I thought you said at the beginning of this show.
No. I mentioned it.
One of our football ones or something?
No. One of our other basketball ones.
Oh, okay.
I mentioned I had a bold prediction for the awards, and this was before Zion was supposed to miss however many games he's gonna miss.
Yeah, it was probably last week's.
Yeah. So I think Ja Morant is gonna win Rookie of the Year. The reason why, I think this dude is gonna be a superstar in the NBA.
Okay.
Truthfully, I do. I think Zion's gonna be a really good player too, but I think there's gonna be a tiny bit more of a learning curve for Zion. One, because he was able to use his athleticism as a failsafe every single play, pretty much in college and in high school. But in the NBA, you're going to be playing against tall dudes. Everyone's athletic in the NBA.
I mean, I think we saw enough of Zion to say that's not going to matter, really.
We saw a preseason game where you look good.
I saw him make Gobert look like a child.
Okay, but it's
Gobert
different.
is one of the best defensive players in the league.
It's different in the NBA season.
I guess. I don't buy that argument as much. Zion is just
I think Zion's gonna be a superstar.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be a superstar, but I really love Ja Morant.
All depending on health, though.
Yeah, that dude. He has to lose weight.
That scares me.
He has to lose weight if he realistically wants a long NBA career.
There's some good rookies this year, though.
I think Ja Morant and Zion are in a league of their own, though.
Yeah, that's fair.
I do not like RJ Barrett. He screams bust to me. Everything about him screams bust.
He's not one of my top choices.
DeAndre Hunter.
He's not one of my top choices either.
I mean, he just fits a role. He's not a Rookie of the Year type guy.
I don't think so.
I mean, Melly is the front runner right now.
I also have Morant, but that's contingent. Like, okay, so I have Zion as my actual pick, but if he were to miss more than 20 games, if he misses half the season, he's not my pick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I have Ja Morant. I think this combination with him and Triple J and him being a really mature, complete, player will transition really nice. And I think Memphis kind of moving off of Marc Gasol and moving off of Mike Conley, like they finally have a fresh, new, young identity, and they brought in young guys, but have played a few years, like Kyle Anderson. You know, they bring in some nice
Tyus
players.
Jones.
Yeah, they bring in some nice players around him. I think he could average close to 15 and 10, 10 being assists.
I
I mean,
think he could average 20-10.
he could
I'm
be
not
20
kidding.
and 10, and you know, he was a scorer in college. He averaged 10 assists, close to 10 assists in college. Um, I have him as well. I do think Kobe White and Tyler Hero are kind of my dark horses. But I went with John Morant. I think he'll just have the best opportunity because he'll be a starter on that young team.
Yeah, and he's gonna be the point guard too, and really the only. I mean, at times in that lineup, I'm trying to think of their lineup. Probably the only real shot creator.
Yeah, no, he should be the first option in every time they have the ball.
So the
And
volume's gonna be
yeah,
high
right.
for
So
him.
that's why I have him as well.
And he's a highlight reel player. That's an important thing for Rookie of the Year. We like to pretend like it's not, but it is.
No,
And
yeah.
he can make some
It-
highlight plays.
It's a
and
little
big
bit about
moments.
hype and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, that's why
But-
Trae Young almost stole it, because if you looked at the whole season, there was no way he could win it over Luka, but he
Yeah.
had such a good stretch of buzzer beaters and, you know,
40
crazy
point
yeah,
games.
exactly, where he almost stole it.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, it is all dependent on Zion's health. But even then, man, I'm putting my faith in Ja. I think Ja's gonna be such a superstar in this league.
I think
has
I
everything.
think if Zion came back, if Zion comes back and he's fine and he's at around 260, 255, there's the Pelicans rotation should be a lot more clear, and he should have a lot of opportunity to put up, 20 a night.
Yeah, I agree. But there's gonna be a lot of sharing of the ball there, though, too.
Yeah.
That's not gonna be the case in Memphis. It's gonna be the Ja Morant show, through and through. I mean, it'll be the Zion show.
You would think with Zion out there, there'd be a lot more Lonzo. You got to think that'd be a perfect combination.
Yeah,
At least, and especially in the transition. Oh my God! Imagine stopping that.
the spacing worries me, but yeah.
I mean, you either feed Zion down low or play good defense and run. They should be running all the time.
I mean, dude, actually, the more I think about it, does Melly not make a ton more sense in a rotation with Zion?
Like as far as them playing together.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let
Just
Melly shoot.
Drive and kick. Oh yeah.
Especially with Lonzo, because
100%.
you're gonna need spacing.
Oh, 100%.
JJ, Lonzo,
Yeah.
BI.
Yep.
Damn, that team's gonna be fun to watch, man. They were fun to watch last night at times.
They were. I
They
mean,
were
that was a
running.
way better game than I was anticipating.
Yeah.
I didn't expect Siakam to play like that.
So me either.
Oof.
Siakam looked really good.
Jesus. Yeah.
So we both picked Ja Morant. You picked him because Zion's injury issues. I'm
Yeah.
just flat out picking him.
Okay.
But to be fair, he's gonna have to have such a ridiculous season because the narrative is already in Zion's favor.
Yeah. No
So
doubt.
Ja Morant's just gonna have to completely ball out, and I put my faith in him.
And
really
if
like
he
it.
has a great start while
Yeah.
Zion's out, that'll help him a lot.
That's true because all eyes will be on him then.
And if Memphis can win some games, because they could be bad.
No, they're gonna be bad, but I mean, still, that's just kind of the Mavericks finished with what, the 5th worst record last year.
And we were still pretty good, or decently. I mean, we played a lot of teams well, and
Yeah,
just kind of lose at the end.
yeah, that's true. We just completely tanked there towards
Yeah,
the season,
yeah.
but still. Okay, MVP.
Go ahead.
James Harden.
Wow.
Well, remember, I have the Rockets finishing first.
Mm.
So, in a tough West, if James Harden leads them to a 1 seed, no brainer for me.
You don't think Russ could kind of take away from some of that production, or
I don't think so.
Harden might just say fuck it and just get out of my way, Russ, type of thing.
Yeah, because look,
That's what it
Harden,
looked like in the preseason.
Everyone hates him. I hate him too at times.
At times, I don't hate.
I used to hate his guts. I mean, despise him. I used to despise him. But as time's gone on, I have grown to like him.
Yeah.
He is so good, man. And really, you could even argue he's been the best player in the NBA, or maybe the second best player in the NBA, like the past 3 seasons.
I mean, he's one of the best scorers
Ever.
We've already seen
Period.
already. Yeah.
One of the best scorers to ever play the sport.
Yep.
He is fun to watch. Yeah, he draws a lot of contact. He draws a lot of bullshit fouls, whatever. Every NBA superstar does that.
Yep, no doubt.
It's not just exclusive to James Harden.
Dirk Nowitzki, we watched him do it.
Yeah, Dirk drew. I mean, KD has that swim move, or what is it called? The
Yeah, the little
Yeah.
Swift, the little Swift move or whatever.
The
Swim through. Yeah, you
yeah,
can
the
call it
swim through move. The swim
Yeah.
through move. I mean, Steph Curry's trying to draw fouls all the time on 3-point shots. Like everyone is flopping these days.
No doubt. And the
So
way he kind of does his Euro with his arms all the way extended, he's going to get a lot of wrist hits and stuff.
And he has a one-legged three now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's incredible. So
My
for
dark
me,
horse, Luka Doncic.
oh wow, yeah, I like
Gosh.
that. No, I think that's fair though. He was on the list, and he was on the list for most improved player too.
For what, MVP odds?
Yeah.
Or was
and he was. I have to look at it again.
Luka was on the most improved list.
Yeah, I know. I thought that was strange as well.
I mean, he had one of the best rookie seasons ever.
Right.
But hey, I was.
Luka is plus 5,000 on MVP odds.
Okay.
And
who's he improved by?
Hold on. Most improved. Maybe I didn't see him on here.
I think I'm more interested.
No, he is. He's plus 2,500 on most improved. I think that would be a hard award for him to win, though.
No, he's not going to win that.
Yeah, I don't see him winning that.
Unless he's averaging like 30 points a game.
No, he's the only plus 5,000 guy. Kemba Walker and Donovan Mitchell are plus 4,000, and Ben Simmons is plus. Ben Simmons is plus 6,000.
Come on, guys. Luka is already a better player than Donovan.
I think it's just because they're saying they're on better teams, maybe.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know, but I think we could have better teams than them. I have Dallas finishing higher than Utah. So
wait, Utah.
I had Utah at 7. Just because I think Mike Conley scares me with his health.
That's right.
And he's supposed to be a big piece of that team. So MVP, I think injuries scare me here with Steph and Embiid. They're big guys for this award. Kawhi is also a big candidate. Harden's a big candidate. I was torn between Giannis, Harden, and Kawhi were kind of my top 3. Steph and Embiid kind of falling out because of injuries. And I ended up going Giannis, winning it back-to-back. I think Paul George will take away from some of Kawhi's not playing time, but like I said, man, this Clippers team, if they can win without these guys, especially with Kawhi's injury history, why overplay them? And I think that could hurt his numbers a little bit. I think there's no doubt about it. Steph could win MVP this year.
Yeah, he could.
But he's got to play 75 games. I mean, at least 70.
And they got to be towards the top of the West.
And I'm worried about all those things. And I think Giannis is only going to get better. And I think Harden, I don't think it's like the same kind of thing. I don't think Russ will take away from Harden's numbers a lot, but I think Giannis is just going to be a front runner, man. He's just so individually impactful on that team and does so many things. I have him. I'll go ahead and spoil my Defensive Player of the Year pick because it'll help my argument.
Oh, I completely forgot about Defensive Player of the Year.
I have him winning Defensive Player of the Year too, man.
I didn't even pick that person for Defensive Player of the
Year. And Giannis is what, 24 years old? I mean, this guy he's just going to keep getting better, man. So I have him getting it back to back.
Yeah, I think I probably would have Giannis second.
Yeah.
But I'm also looking at everything involved and what goes into voting, like narratives and all of that. And sometimes it's hard to win back to back because there's definitely some voter fatigue.
That's fair.
And I think there was enough of a narrative that swung Harden's way where it's like, man, maybe Harden deserved that award. Or maybe Harden should have got more votes than he got.
And if, like you said, like the Rockets were to finish 1 and Philly were to out top the Bucks in the East, then it would be a pretty clear choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's I would say 5 or 6 players who could realistically win.
No doubt about
MVP
that. Like AD could get
AD's in that conversation too.
Yep, no doubt.
Kawhi, he's up there. I just don't know if Kawhi has the moments. You know?
I mean, last night he looked like MVP to me, man.
Yeah, I know, but
and I didn't want to be a prisoner of the moment off of last night, but I think him having such a complete team around him hurts him a little bit for this award.
Well, that in his game is, I mean, he had the quietest 30 points.
Oh, dude, but it's so good. If I know you were probably watching the game, but just.
Well, no, I was watching. I mean, his turnaround fadeaway is unguardable pretty much.
Oh my God, his mid range is just unstoppable.
But it's just like Giannis is gonna have those monster dunks, those huge blocks. Harden's gonna have the crossovers, the step backs, the Euro stats.
Yeah.
Like that plays into voting. It does.
Yeah, but Kawhi's coming off a season where he took Toronto Raptors to the finals and won it against the Golden State Warriors, regardless of injuries. I mean, he's looking like, I told you, the best player in the league right now, and it wouldn't shock me if he, said, I'm good to play. I'm going to go out there and score 30 a night and win MVP. It wouldn't
Yeah.
surprise me.
I mean,
But I got
dope.
Giannis.
Yeah, I got James Harden. Defensive player of the year, I didn't even put one down, but if Joel Embiid stays healthy, he's my pick.
Okay. I was going to say, it's between Giannis, AD, Gobert, and Embiid.
Yeah, and if Embiid can stay healthy, I'd probably give it to Giannis.
This guy actually has a dark horse pick here. I think you'll like it. It's Miles Turner.
Oh, I like that.
A little bit of dark horse for defensive player of the year.
Especially if the Pacers finish well.
Yeah. Which I didn't have them finishing well.
Yeah, you had them 13th. Jeez. That was a little harsh.
See you, Pacers.
No,
Yeah.
I like the Miles Turner pick.
You know how often I think about the Pacers now? I'm like, Pacers are going to make playoffs and just shit on me.
Well, you should think that because they're going to make the playoffs.
You think so?
I think so.
Okay.
It's
possible. It's possible.
But yeah. So that was our...
We got some good picks. And
Go
we got some
Ja
big games tonight. We got the Mavs first game.
Wait to watch the Mavs, man.
I know, man. I'm excited. We play a interesting Wizards team.
Look, this is going to be like last year where we played the Suns. We were like, all right, we're going to get off to a hot start.
Yeah.
Get killed.
Horrible start last year.
I was watching that game. I was like, oh, my God. We're worse than we were last year.
Oh, my God. That was a rough beginning. Yeah, we need a better start than that, I'd say.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of the games tonight. I mean, the 6 o'clock games are ugly. Bulls, Hornets. Ugh.
Oh, jeez.
Pacers, Pistons. Cavs,
Memphis, Miami. That could be an interesting game to watch.
I guess
and you got Boston, Philly, and you got my favorite matchup in the league, Denver, Portland.
Oh, yeah, you did talk about that.
God,
I
love that.
That specific matchup.
God, that is such good basketball. That playoff series last year was some of the best basketball I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, okay, so there you go. That's a must-watch.
Seriously.
I mean, the games on ESPN are good.
Spurs, Knicks, that could be interesting. Could be interesting.
No, it won't. The Knicks suck, dude. Can you grasp this idea? Can you grasp this?
I cannot grasp that.
It's gonna be horrible, man. Bucks Rockets tomorrow night.
Yeah, that'll be good.
James Harden begins his MVP tour.
That'll be good. You got a lot of players in fantasy tonight? I got a full lineup.
I think I got a full lineup.
I'm excited.
I've already stopped checking.
You feel good about your team or what?
No idea.
Okay.
I don't know the first thing about fantasy basketball.
I mean, it's pretty clear cut. I mean, it's not that difficult. Like, people think this daily fantasy shit is crazy. It's really not that insane. It's pretty straightforward.
I mean, fantasy basketball, it seems easy on paper, but then I like did my research. People are like, oh, you need to punt rebounds. Don't draft people who get rebounds. Draft people who do this. Just ignore the rebound stat. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? And then I see people who are like, ignore the assist stat. Ignore the free throw stat. I'm like, wait, what stat should I be ignoring?
I think the best thing to have in fantasy basketball is efficient, dominant big men. And the team that usually has the most of those is going to win.
I don't even know who's on my team.
You have A. Davis. I'm looking at Levine, and I'm looking at
Miles. Derek Favors? Or is that my other league?
No, you do have Derek Favors. Who had a pretty good game last night.
He wasn't
not really, actually.
Wasn't on the court.
Yeah.
Enough, at least.
I mean, Miles Turner is going to be great for you, dude. This is the key to your team right here is A. Davis, Ayton, Miles Turner, and Levine.
Oh, yeah. That's right. I had Ayton, too.
Yeah. So that's your core.
Ayton might be an interesting MIP.
Yeah.
I don't like the second-year players.
He was on there, too.
I don't like the second-year players because they almost never win. But
and don't forget, you got Paul George in your IR, too.
That's true. I got PG.
Your team's looking all right.
Yeah.
So good luck, brother.
Thanks. I would say good luck to you, but I don't mean it.
Why? That's mean.
Because I'm trying to win.
Okay. Well,
hey,
you ready to pay me? You ready to pay me money?
Good luck, brother.
Good luck. All right. Anything else? World Series? Anything else we want to touch on that?
No, I don't really want to talk about the World Series.
I was surprised Scherzer was pulled so early.
Yeah, I think in the playoffs, if you don't have your stuff, you don't have your stuff.
I was surprised Garrett Cole stayed so long too.
Yeah, I know that one was surprising me. Juan Soto's a superstar. Fuck the Astros.
God. Yeah. I found myself rooting for the Nats last night.
Yeah, I mean the Astros are really hateable.
Yeah.
At least I think so. I hate Yuli Gurriel. I hate Roberto Ozuna. Everyone else on their team is pretty likable though.
Yep. So we'll be back.
Bregman has that swagger that I like.
Oh, Bregman's
even though a lot of people hate him.
Oh, he's a monster.
He's been sucking. He sucks. He sucks so far this place. He
just seems like one of those guys that like me and you would have grown up playing against type of thing. You know, that was just such a stud. Yeah.
But yeah.
But other than that, we got picks tomorrow. Like, subscribe, follow, comment on YouTube. Like we
All that
said,
good stuff.
we're coming with videos soon. We're working on all that, and we are listening to y'all's feedback. So
Yeah.
and we got a lot of support. I got a lot of people out in Arkansas listening. Shout out to y'all. Oh yeah, Pat Bev. I wanted to say shout out. He's a Woo Pig guy.
Oh, I thought you
And
were gonna say Pat Bev, listener of the podcast.
oh yeah, shout out Pat Bev. Listen to the podcast.
Hey,
We're gonna have
Patrick, shout out to you, brother.
come on the show anytime, brother.
Friend of the show.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't know he went to Arkansas for college.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So,
Damn, I wanted Patrick Beverly so bad on the Mavericks.
yeah.
I really thought for a while we were gonna
we
get him.
talked to him a lot. I think he just really wanted to stay in the Clippers, man.
Well, for a while it sounded like he was gonna be a Maverick.
Right.
But yeah, the Clippers, better situation for him. Truth be told.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, anything else?
That's it.
All right.
You guys have a good day. Enjoy watching basketball tonight, if that's what you're going to be doing.
Yep.
We'll be back with our picks tomorrow. Until then.
Later.
Have a great day.
See you.